So large number of modification are also present sometimes in the leaves. So first adaptation is in the leaf for photosynthesis. The leaves have a dense venation to support rapid transport of the raw material as well as products to and from the mesophyll cell. Now the question is, what is mesophyll cell? So mesophyll cells are found in the plants, internal structure of the plants. So here I am going to draw the TS of the plant. So you can see here its outer cuticle is present, and after that the upper epidermis are attached. So here green colored dense lots of cells are present, that is known as mesophyll cells, which is known as mesophyll cells, because in these cells lots of chloroplast are present. So actually this is the main site for the photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis. So it's a green color structure. Now in the just below the mesophyll cells, different types of cells are also present here, which is known as spongy parenchyma. Spongy parenchyma. Spongy parenchyma, and this one is the lower epidermis. Lower epidermis. So in the lower epidermis you can see bean shaped or kidney shaped stomata are present for gaseous exchange. Okay, so in the lower portion of the leaf most of the stomata are present. Okay, now in this space some of the xylem and phloem are also present, and those area which are spacious, you can see there is nothing mention anything, that is known as intercellular space. Intercellular space. Okay, intercellular space. So these area, greenish color area, is known as mesophyll cells, where the light molecules will absorb and photosynthesis takes place. Now the next adaptation is thin leaves perform better photosynthesis. We can write here thin leaves performs better photosynthesis. Okay, so you can take the examples of the green plants. So green, as compared to the green plants, algae produces more oxygen. Okay, algae produces more oxygen. Clear? Now the next modification is leaves are usually arranged at the right angle to each other. Okay, so we can mention here leaves are arranged at right angle to each other. So absorb maximum light. So absorb maximum light. Okay. Now next point, that is the internal structure of the chloroplast. Okay, so chloroplast contain basically three portion. First is the cell wall or cell membrane. Second is the we can mention here the stroma. Okay, and the third one is grana and as well as thylakoid. So chloroplast structure of chloroplast. So here you can make the diagram. Okay, this is the outer layer, cell wall, outer layer, not cell wall, we can mention here the outer membrane. Outer membrane. This one is the inner membrane. Okay, inner membrane, and in the inner membrane and the outer membrane there is a space present that is known as periplastidial space. Periplastidial space. Okay, so periplastidial space. Now each chloroplast is bounded by double unit membrane, that is the outer membrane as the inner membrane, and the inner space is filled with an aqueous matrix which is known as aqueous matrix, which is called stroma. Okay, this is called stroma. Okay, here night reaction takes place. Okay, in the center the plate-like structure are also present, which is stacked with each other. Okay, which is known as, the single unit is known as thylakoid. And when the thylakoid are joined together, then it forms grana or granum. Okay, now this is the another thylakoid membrane present here, and they are attached with the pipe-like structure which is known as fret, or sometime in most of the books it is mentioned stroma lamellae. Okay, stroma lamellae. So the pointed, this region is known as stroma, where the sun, where the night reaction will take place. Okay. Now, when the chlorophyll molecule, which is present on the outer surface of the ear, most of the chlorophyll molecule are present on the membrane of the thylakoid. So here, when the quantum energy from the sunlight, when the energy is coming from the sunlight, so it is called photon, which is denoted by h nu. It's a small energy packets, okay, which small energy packets and it is known as quantum energy. Okay, so when the quantum energy is changed with the help of the chemical reaction takes place with the help of chloroplast, so quantum energy will change into chemical energy. Okay, and this is called photochemical act. Photochemical act is the phenomena by which the quantum energy is changed into chemical energy with the help of chloroplast, which is present on the upper membrane of thylakoid. Okay, so this is the overall structure of the chloroplast. And one more important point here, the two cell organelle, that is the mitochondria and the chloroplast, are considered the semi-autonomous cell organelle because they have its own DNA. So they are autonomous, they never dependent on the nuclear DNA, okay, for the transcription and protein synthesis. Okay, so in the cell organelles, its own DNA, it's a circular DNA are present. Okay, DNA are present, so it's a circular DNA. But in our body, the most of the nuclear DNA are linear, but in the cell organelle, the DNA are always found like a circular. So it proves that the origin of the eukaryotes is always by the prokaryotic cells. Okay, so that are the main characteristics. Clear? Now next, the photosynthetic pigment. Okay, so in your syllabus, class 10th, okay, it is mentioned the photosynthetic pigment. So photosynthetic pigment we can categorize into three main parts. So that means the three main types of components, pigments, are found in the chloroplast. First is the chlorophyll. Now we can write here photosynthetic pigments. So first is chloroplast. Okay, so it's a most important pigment. It contains the magnesium ion in the central metal atom. Okay, so actually the chloroplast is 5 types: chlorophyll A, B, C, D, E. But mostly in the most of the organism, plant cells, A and B are found more. So they are more abundant chlorophyll, that is the A and B. Okay. Now chlorophyll exists in the, suppose that the chlorophyll C and D mostly found in the bacterial cell. Okay. Now the second number is carotene. Carotene, it's an orange to yellow color. Orange to yellow color. Yellow color. You can see in the some of the leaves looks like orange or yellowish in color due to the presence of the carotene pigment. For example, you can take the example of the carrot. Okay. Now the third one is xanthophyll. Okay, xanthophyll. So these are also yellow color. Yellow color. Okay. Now, sometime in the board examination, the Examiner asks, what are accessory pigment? What are accessory pigment? So, accessory pigment, carotene and xanthophyll. Carotene and xanthophyll are known as accessory pigment. Okay, the main function is to protect the oxidation of the chlorophyll by strong light. So what is their function? Their main function is, you can write, protect oxidation of chlorophyll, it's a short form, chlorophyll, by strong light. By strong light. So we can write here photooxidation. Photooxidation. Okay. So next important topic which is given in the photosynthesis, that is what is the role of the stomata sorry, to take the carbon dioxide. How the stomata take the carbon dioxide from the outside the environment. Okay, so animal releases, most of the animal releases the carbon dioxide gas, and the leaf take these carbon dioxide gas and it convert into chemical energy, and finally it gives the oxygen molecule for the animals. Okay, so what is the role of the stomata? So stomata is the only structure through which the gases exchange takes place in the plant cells. Okay, now these are the structure of the stomata. So it is the kidney shaped or bean shaped. You can see here the nucleus is present and it's the greenish color. Okay, and the outer layer is known as subsidiary cell. Outer cells, subsidiary cells. Okay, in some of the books it is known as epidermal cell. Okay, now this one is the guard cell. Guard cell which contain the nucleus as well as chloroplast, CHL. Okay, inner layer is always thicker. These layers are always thick as compared to other ones. Okay, now how the stomata are open during the daytime and it closes in the night time. So for explain of how the stomata are open and close, so it is given the another theory that is known as cell sap concentration. Cell sap concentration theory. Cell sap concentration theory. So according to this theory, during daytime what will happen? Daytime chloroplast performs photosynthesis. Okay, so increase the concentration of glucose in the guard cells. Guard cell. GC stands for guard cells. Okay, then what will happen? due to increase the glucose content in the cell sap, okay, it becomes hypotonic. Cell sap becomes hypotonic. Okay, hypotonic. So actually the tonicity is three type: hypotonic, hypotonic, hypo, hyper, and isotonic. Okay, in the hypotonic, the number of solute will be less. In the hypertonic, hyper means jada, more, so number of the solute dissolved in solution is more. And isotonic, it is equal. That means the outside the concentration and the inside the concentration of the any plant cell or any cell sap is both are equal. Okay, now the cell sap becomes hypotonic. So water molecule, water from surroundings, water from surroundings, subsidiary cell, SC, this is the outer cells is known as subsidiary cells. Okay, subsidiary cells enters inside, enter inside the guard cell. Okay, guard cell. So water molecule will diffuse from here to here, and the guard cells contain more water. As a result, the volume will be increased and the stomata will be open. Okay, so finally guard cells by end osmosis, by end osmosis. So क्या होगा इसके बाद? तो बाहर की जो cells हैं like that, so water molecule move to here, so volume of the stomata will be more. Okay, and it will open. So we can mention here guard cells become turgid. Guard cells become turgid, and finally stomata open. Finally the stomata will open. Okay, so this is the main events of the cell sap concentration theory, okay, which explain the role of stomata to take the carbon dioxide gas. So when the stomata will open, then easily the carbon dioxide molecule will enter from outside to inside the cell. Okay, now how the stomata close during the night time. So here I am going to explain. So during night, what will happen? Photosynthesis stop. Okay, so glucose convert into starch. Okay, so finally cell sap becomes hypotonic. Okay, hypotonic. So actually the starch is the polysaccharides. Okay, so water leaves the guard cells by X osmosis. Okay, X osmosis. So guard cells become GC. Guard cells become flaccid. Okay, flaccid. So when the guard cells become flaccid, then Histometer closed. Okay, so actually when the Histometer is closed, then it prevents the CO2 molecule, okay, entry of CO2. Actually you can mention here entry of CO2 in the leaves and exit of water vapor. Okay, exit of water vapor from the leaves. So this is the simplest way to explain the role of Histometer to take the carbon dioxide gas during daytime or night time. Okay. So what is raw material? Raw material for photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide molecule, water, chlorophyll, as well as sunlight. So this is the main important requirement Okay, so if any of them, if you removed, for example, if you not give the water to the plant cell, okay, then photosynthesis will affect. If the chlorophyll molecule is not present in the cell, then also photosynthesis affect. So the 4 important raw material is, we can mention here, raw material. So raw material is, first is a CO2, second water, third sunlight. Okay, because most of the light reactions are due to the sunlight, and the last is the chlorophyll, your chloroplast, chlorophyll or chloroplast. Okay, so these are the main raw material. Now leaf appears green because all the leaf mostly appears green because the chlorophyll reflects away the green wavelength. Okay, chlorophyll reflects away the green wavelength of the light spectrum and absorb mainly the red and blue wavelength. Okay, red and blue wavelength. So this questions comes most of the time in the already in ICSE examination, so you can note down. And in the next video, I will explain the mechanism of the photosynthesis, how the electrons are excited and go to the ground level to the excited level, and after 10 to the power minus 8 second, it returns back and it produces the light, which is known as the fluorescence. Okay, so I will explain the C3 cycle, C4 cycle, light reaction, dark reaction, which gives at least 5 to 10 marks in the board examination. Okay, so